Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday. Hey, I made it to a Tuesday video this week, and I almost didn't because I desperately needed new jeans, and so I went jean shopping. I hate shopping. I hate jean shopping most of all. Yes, Momo is here with me for moral support, right, Momo? But of course, the malls use a ton of cleaning stuff now. So by the time I got home, I was kind of hacky. So I took one of Momo's antihistamines, right, Momo? Yes, Momo's. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about today. Someone did a very, very thorough um, article on TV tropes about boss fight. And I'm like, tropes! This is so wonderfully ironic. Now a show I made is kind of an ongoing embodiment of tropes are neither good nor bad. They're just tools you use to make a point or create a story structure or use shorthands that people understand. So we're going to go through it. Part of it is sort of like, hey, thank you, whoever put all this work into this thing. But also just sort of I'm amused at how many things people caught and kind of flattered, and this is kind of fun and it will make a point, but we'll do it in a gentle way, right? So if you like this, help support this channel, become a monthly patron, patreon.com/LeannaK. Okay, so where are we here? We're there, and we've got the web video boss fight. Here we are. I am something of a TV tropes neophyte. I don't know what YMMV means. I don't know what that means. But you know, there's a denser and wackier is the first thing they mentioned. That's kind of interesting. So we have Magical Girl Princess Sparkle Muffin, historically known as a damsel in distress, but unbeknownst to her, evil plan. The finale also reveals that the series is actually a poorly disguised pilot for an actual boss fight video game starring the characters. That was not intentional when the show started, but that's cool. Thank you for the publicity that there's actually going to be a game. Full disclosure, it started as a pen and paper RPG idea that then we went, let's do RPG Maker. Then we thought this is going to be a lot of work, and when episode 4 came out, we were like, hell, let's do it. But so we've got a lot of tropes. This goes on a while. Look at all this. Look at all of this. It's so cool. Which makes it even funnier because I'm not sitting here going, tropes are versus women. No, I think this is freaking great. But it starts the actually I am him. There's frequent mention of the princess's old nanny, Nanny Netherwax, and it turns out Beelzebub was that very nanny. If anybody's interested in doing any editing or add-ons to this TV tropes, Nanny Netherwax is actually a reference to Granny Weatherwax from the Terry Pratchett novels. So there's a segment further down where that's relevant, but in case anybody is wondering, that is a reference as well. There are a lot of tropes in this show. This was not intended to make a point, but the fact that it did is kind of delightful. Like, obviously the show was playing on certain archetypes, yes, but yeah, I'm just so amused. The altar cucker, the fact that this is the second one makes me happy. The fact that there's actually a trope of an elderly person that speaks with a Yiddish accent or throws in Yiddish makes me happy. And the adventure continues. The last episode shows Zarkazan in hell with Mephisto suggesting they work together. The answer cut, that's Zarkazan's manifesto. Anything but that. Zarkazan's comeuppance in the finale has to be comment moderate. We're going to be a while if I read everyone, so I'm just kind of blow through this. I'm glad somebody caught the arson, murder, and jaywalking. It's not quite that for the line, but, you know, she doesn't want everybody to be like her because that would be boring and make the price of tiaras go through the roof. It's just nice when anybody appreciates a line of dialogue, any line of dialogue. I also like laser-guided karma. With the unfiltered abuse from trolls. The people that helped with that will probably be very happy to get a mention here. Attention whore with Serenity Sunflower. The thing that's kind of cool is every boss got a trope. At least one. The Silk Angels got 3. Back for the finale. Thank you for referencing that. That was a lot of work. Bad boss. Berserk button. Okay. I had not heard bitch in sheep's clothing or the term granola girl. So I learned that granola girl is basically what Serenity Sunflower is. But I did not know there was a term for that. So that's pretty. Boob and butt pose. And Reardon cringes when she sees one of the Silk Angels doing this pose in the promotional images, specifically Judith. Oh, that image. The stuff of nightmares. Bread, eggs, and breaded eggs. The Serenity Sunflower line, relevant, popular, and relatively popular. Again, it's just nice that any line landed in a way that people remembered. This one, Buffy speak. I was like, what is Buffy speak? The fact that Joss Whedon is getting credit for a way my mother talked in the 70s kind of shocked me. That it's the thingy dung, like the fluffy thing. This is a reference to Glowy Box. And the funny thing about Glowy Box is that Glowy Box became a character as fan service to an extent. Glowy Box was a set piece initially, and people kept saying, "What's with the Glowy Box? There's Glowy Box. What's Glowy Box?" in the episode 0 of Lady Bits. And I'm like, what the hell are they talking about Glowy Box? What's Glowy Box? And someone finally told me, the box next to you. It's a glowy box. And I'm like, okay, this has got to be a thing. So I did not know that Buffy Speak gets credit for that. Yikes. That predates Buffy. Anyway, moving on. Butt Monkey, SJW, callbacks, yes, I hate The Sims. Cat, I love the number of cat tropes that ended up in this. Both Cats Are Mean and Cute Kitten are in this show. That makes me happy. I did not know Cool Crown was a trope. Becoming the playable character has her getting a spectacular gold crown headdress. I did not know that was a trope. Cool sword, I knew was a trope. Curse cut short, definitely a trope. Cuteness proximity is also connected to cats. Dance party ending, excellent. That was, inspired by Saints Row 4. Defrosting Ice Queen. Man, Anne Reardon goes from emotionalist girl and punch clock villain to embracing her love of show tunes. The fact that it is a trope combined with a trope and a trope. You understand me, whoever spent a ton of time on this TV tropes entry. Distressed dude, SJW being, it's a distressed dude, but it's a damsel in distress, right? And okay, pardon this is another trope, the getting eaten by a tangent. That's not what it's called. But part of the reason I did that with Social Justice Warrior is some of you may have heard me ranting about my issue with the term damseling. Because distressed dude, the term dude is not used as an inherent pejorative the way the term damsel is, or damseling, or don't damsel her. All damsel means is a young unmarried woman. It shouldn't be used as a pejorative, especially by feminists, but it happens all the time. So I'm going to keep saying this until people actually start thinking about the meaning of the words they use. Because what does it matter if some sweet little thing is in peril in one part of the show, if in another part of the show, another character who is in peril, and SJW is kind of a sweet little thing. Like, let's face it, he's adorable. But yeah, I just have to point out that distressed dude does not make the term dude a pejorative the way damsel is being lifted out of the context of damsel in distress. Really, really bugs me. Not going to let that go. Double vision were utilized quite often given Leanna is playing nearly every character. Yes! Sometimes as many as 4 people are in the frame at once. There's actually more than that in episode 5, but that's okay. 4 still seems like a lot. Easily forgiven. Serenity Sunflower. Everything's better with dinosaurs. Okay. I have to give credit to Aislinn, the little girl that was in episode 4 with that. That was completely an ad-lib. Well, the young man who plays Boy is great with dialogue, is great with learning lines. Aislinn was an improv comic. And I eventually realized that instead of just feeding her stuff, it was better to just let her go. And so we just did it in character with Princess Sparkle Muffin, and she came out with that dinosaurs on dinosaurs eating hamburgers with dinosaurs. And yes, everything is better with dinosaurs. Everything's better with sparkles as well. Understood that. That, yes, was deliberate. Expository hairstyle change. I love that they connected that to the heel face turn. Well done. I was going to change Anne Reardon's hairstyle as well, and then went, no, she already has theater hair. We don't need to change Anne. Anne just needed a change of scenery. Because later down, they actually point out that Anne Reardon is a parody of Ayn Rand. Lillian Reardon is a character from Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged? Yes, I think so. Ayn Rand was a big fan of Hollywood and entertainment and everything like that, so I thought it was better to not change the hair. Fairy godmother, obviously fallen on hard times job. Yes, very much so. I love that the Silk Angels are referenced in multiple tropes. The 5 token band. So glad that people understood the token characters from obviously different backgrounds. I love that was understood for what it is. The fluffy fashion feathers as well. The fun with acronyms. I really enjoyed synthesized kinetic absorption nano weave knickers skank boxes. Yeah. I enjoy acronyms. They are obviously it was inspired very much by Get Smart, but yes. Gamer Chick, and I think this is interesting that under Gamer Chick, they have Serenity Sunflower with the fake gamer girl, but Leanna makes clear her disdain for the term girl gamer because she thinks video games are for everyone, and the term reinforces the stereotype that only white, straight, cisgender males play games. I love that this person used the trope to point out my dislike for the trope. And this is why tropes are not inherently against anyone. Tropes can be used effectively to actually refute the standardized messaging behind the trope. Like Gone Horribly Right. The spores and the binge drinking and going into the sparkle and giving her the motivation to become the hero. Of course, Princess Sparkle Muffin picked up binge drinking from the evil queen in Lady Bits. The series is very self-referential. Good Princess Evil Queen, yes! There we go. There she is. I'll save the face heel turn for the backer only episode of Boss Fight that's coming out. How that was going to work if the audience voted for it. Green and Mean is interesting. Zarkazan's magic is accompanied by a sickly green light, and her dress has a green bodice. I am so glad somebody got that color theory. Because, wow, did using a green dress mean I needed to use a blue screen instead of a green screen for everything Zarkazan did. But, yeah, I'm glad somebody caught that. Hair of gold, heart of gold. There we go. She starts with dumb blonde and all loving hero. Heel face turn. Anne Reardon and Serenity Sunflower. Pretty much everybody does a heel face turn, though I guess Shao Kind and Dolores Faye are less all in from the beginning. High class gloves. I love that is a trope. This one cracked me up. Hot Witch. Because this was not my original intention for Zarkazan. But one of the backers in the writing tier was very, very adamant that Zarkazan have a particular type of extreme red-focused eyeshadow. The excessive evil eyeshadow. And that was only because of a particular backer in the writing group that happened at all. And I think it's interesting that somebody found it very flattering and she's very attractive. That is all because of a backer. If you believe that the writing tier incentives in my crowdfunding campaigns are just kind of window dressing, they're not. That's living proof. Info dump, SJW's backstory, cool. Involuntary shapeshifting. The transforming into a cat by eating a cookie, for people don't know, that is from King's Quest 3. That is a trope from King's Quest 3. Insane troll logic. Zarkazan's raison d'etre. She rearranges reality in her mind to suit her own agenda. Jewish complaining. That's a trope. Really? Why is it Jewish complaining and not just sort of immigrant class complaining? Because that's basically Sophia on Golden Girls, but she's Italian, even though Estelle Getty was actually of Jewish extraction. The reason you suck speech. Yeah. Know nothing, know it all. Zarkazan for sure. I didn't know this. It was called The Lancer. And the fact that they added the quote, happy to serve milady nods respectfully. It's so good. Including the male gaze to talk about why I deconstruct the trope of the male gaze. Meaningful name. Solomon's full name abbreviates as SJW, and he is indeed a social justice warrior. That was another thing the writing backers did. That was all them. Motive rant, Serenity Sunflower. It's funny because the motive rant I knew is the evil villain. The villain is about to get defeated speech, but motive rant. Okay. Multicolored hair is a trope. Really? And they reference Shao Kind. Princess Sparkle Muffin actually has pink streaks in her hair pre Super Princess Sparkle Muffin as well. But I think it's interesting that that wig, yes, that was 3 wigs sewed together. So it's really nice that someone appreciated it. Never my fault. Zarkazan again. New Meteor Evil. Yes. Shout out to the Catcher of the Rye. Well done. Nice hat. A running gag in episode 4 is SJW trying on different potential new helmets to go with a redesign. This included Genie's turban and a horned Viking helmet. No celebrities were harmed. The funny thing is the horned Viking helmet was a Q shaman thing. But I guess technically Infamous is not a celebrity. Here's Anne Reardon with Ayn Rand. Subverted with Zarkazan. Some of her quotes make her seem like a caricature of Anita Sarkeesian. Thank you for putting this in. Word of God. I am God now. Is that she's a loony fan who quotes her without context. She also gets accused of plagiarizing Anita in one episode. Thank you for making that clear, fan, whoever did this. No, you. Zarkazan gives us his gem when a troll claims her voice hurts their ears. Your voice hurts my ears. Your ears hurt my voice. That was an ad lib. If people wonder how that was done, we just basically got on Zoom a bunch of volunteers from Patreon and just riffed that scene. And that was just something deliberately terrible that I came up on the fly, and I thought it was so perfectly Zarkazan, so that's cool. The one guy, this one I loved. This one gave me hearts. SJW is the only male in an all-female cast, except for the boy in episode 3. He is also played by Leanna Kay. I thought I was going to take such shit for playing a trans character because it's so fraught, right? I've had no complaints about it, and people love the dude. And now he's the one guy, which is cool in its own way. The Power of Friendship, obviously. Princess Classic. Sparkle Muffin is a hyper-feminine friend to all living things, surrounded by sparkly imagery with a sweet personality and brings about redemption through singing. Yay. Princesses prefer pink. Princess Sparkle Muffin unashamedly revels in this, although her outfit isn't wholly pink. Her dream sequence is a pink background, though, and her pets wear pink party hats. Poor Lincoln, Loki. Both the dogs that got dressed up that way were boys. More on the color in a bit, because, there was symbolism. There's symbolism to Princess Sparkle Muffin's outfit, but real women don't wear dresses. Defied. Princess Sparkle Muffin was the hero and saves the day with the trading of feminine at all. Redemption, rejection. Yeah, that was a Zarkazan thing. Shout out. The gun will come out tomorrow. I forgot I did that, but yeah, that was there. We were actually going for Hello Dolly with that song. Yes, there was a bit of cabaret in it, but there was definitely Hello Annie. That part, Zarkazani, was an homage to Hello Dolly. We tweaked the tune so that we didn't get busted for copyright infringement, but it was a Hello Dolly homage. Though there were many, many, many homages in those songs, including to Philip Glass and the Golden Girls theme song. They're sidetracked by the analogy. I do that all the time. But I like that Princess Sparkle Puppy and Princess Sparkle Kitty were given a shout out to. Significant wardrobe shift. Singing voice dissonance. I think it's funny that the trope is badass baritone, because SJW's vocal range is a classically trained opera tenor. That is a tenor, but the trope is baritone. And yes, singing voice dissonance, definitely. I am far too amused by that. Soapbox Sadie. I love that Leanna takes the time to tell the viewer that he thought the 4 houses in Harry Potter encouraged house normativity. Yay, another line that made it in. Zarkazan. Straw feminist. Yay. Straw feminist and female misogynist. And I love this line. Showing that actual feminists aren't above having fun with this trope, Leanna identifies as a radical feminist. There we go. Stop having fun, guys, is the next one. Stylistic suck. Another. I love this. The game that Eclectic Widget Games advertises is a shooter called Angel Protocol. It's actually an O, but that's okay. Featuring a bunch of action girls in bikinis that appears to be a jiggle show pandering to horny straight men. Leanna, however, then says she kind of actually wants to play that game. I love that that's in there. Take that. The business doesn't care about your feelings, and the cool chick okay with sexism lines. I'm running out of time on that one, but the fact that they're both villains doing that was because I was aware of the take that trope and being able and backfiring so often when somebody does that, which is why I only had villains do it, because, or antagonists do it, because, yeah, antagonists do it, like, whatever character does it take that line, some sort of homage to somebody real life that you're kind of poking fun at, it can cheapen the character. So, yes. And then Team Pet. Princess Sparkle Pony and Shao Kai are both the Team Pet. We have multiple Team Pets. Tomboy with a girly streak. Power hair. They got the power hair. There we go. Took a level in badass. Trademark favorite food, the Neapolitan ice cream. That's pretty cool. True blue femininity. This is when I'll talk about Princess Sparkle Muffin's dress. Okay. Princess Sparkle Muffin is a very feminine girly girl and her dress is pale blue. I'm glad somebody is still aware that pale blue was traditionally a feminine color. If you look at the trope on the TV tropes, it goes through all this, but Princess Sparkle Muffin's dresses are sort of her dress, a combination of like the 3 most feminized colors in history: pale blue, pale yellow, which at one point was a wedding dress color, pale yellow, and pale pink. All together, all the colors, because Princess Sparkle Muffin is so girly girl that we couldn't just have just one, right? The villain sucks song. I love that. Anne Reardon shows up to sing powerful enough to banish her to hell. The Voice, Nana, yay, Wicked Witch, Baba Yaga, and Zarkazan, though I'm so happy that they have, the crone and then distinguish a hot witch. I'm so amused by that. But somebody put so much freaking work into this that I just wanted to do a video to pretty much say thank you, but also to kind of, this was not an intention when I made this show, but the fact that it is just one article that shows how tropes are just tools. Like, yes, the whole purpose of Boss Fight was to tell a story about using a damsel in distress as a main character without violating the character. She doesn't become an action girl. She doesn't become a kick-ass chick. She uses the skills she has in a story tailor-made by Beelzebub to make her the hero. However, she doesn't, I'm not a victim anymore. I'm not a damsel in distress anymore. There's never that moment of, I'm a badass now, right? Instead, she gives social justice warrior tips on how to be captured in one of the episodes. That was the experiment. Yes, that is using a trope. That is not placing a value judgment on a trope. When you start placing value judgments on artistic tools, you get propaganda instead of art. Instead of going, how can we make this work? How can we make an interesting, cool new story with these tropes people understand? People start going, oh, we can't use that, we can't use that, we can't use that. And you tend to end up getting very thin, shallow, modern audiences storytelling. I am working on something to say about the whole modern audiences euphemism. I'm not quite there yet. It would be basically the Tasmanian devil, just blah, blah, pfft, right now. But because I am not a fan of the whole modern audiences thing. ABBA is topping the music charts, people. There are Golden Girls revivals going on. I'm part of one, that's why I'm mentioning Golden Girls so much. But like screenings and stuff like that. Golden Girls finally ended up on Disney Plus. I'm like, must binge. In Canada. But certain things are timeless. Certain things there isn't an age cutoff on the human condition. And this modern audiences thing is a crutch, and more on that in a bit. But it was completely unintended that someone would go through and detail all the tropes in this show. But it's just such a thing of beauty because it uses the tropes to bust stereotypes. A trope is not a stereotype. A trope is closer to an archetype. But a trope is just a tool. A trope cannot be against anyone. A trope cannot be versus anybody. A trope doesn't have feelings. It's the usage of the trope and the meaning infused in the trope that matters. And tropes can be used rather cleverly to invert the meaning and make people think about identity and social order and role and all that stuff. But we can only do that if we stop being afraid of tropes. Right? Right. All right. Thank you so much to the person who did that again. And if you like what I do, help support this channel. Become a monthly patron. Patreon.com/LeannaK. Thanks for watching.